Now I request Mr. Rohit R. Brandon, who is retired IAS and former director HCM, RIPA and additional Chief Secretary, Training at Government of Rajasthan, to present Memories of late Shri Amrit Kumarji.
It happened a long time ago, in the year 1983. I joined on my first posting in Ajmer as HCM on probation. And we were given judicial powers by the High Court, and we worked as judicial magistrates for a hands-on experience in judgment writing and casework. Practical training in law is necessary to learn the art of making judgment about men and matters. On the very first day, sitting on the high teak wood dais in the courtroom, called since 1920s as the Jhandawali Court in the Collectorate of Ajmer, meant for the Barra Sahibs, I saw a stocky young man in black coat and white trousers, waiting to start the pleadings in the first case of my life. And as you know, the first time is always the best time in any walk of life. Stern looking in face, but with soft eyes, a flickering smile on his lips, as if he knew my predicament of being an utter novice. He opened his arguments in fluent English. That was my first meeting with Amrit Kumarji. And several hearings later, as I read out the judgment in chaste English with a mix of Solomon's axioms and Shakespearean theatre, I again noticed that soft smile, but with an appreciative twinkle in his eye. Clearly he was impressed with the tone and the tenor and the takeaway of the judicial order. Next I met him in Jaipur about 10 years later, as he came down to tell me how that very first case, and he was a Doyen of Law, nobody knew law better than him. He came down to tell me that that case had seen many courtroom battles, and he had a copy of the Supreme Court order that had upheld my decision and vindicated his cause. Because the decision was mine, but the cause was dear to his heart. It was his cause. Mr. Kumar had taken up in public interest, and for the first time, a public body like the Ajmer Municipal Council. It was not a corporation then, it was a small council, way back in 1983. For the first time, a public body was being charged for creating public nuisance under section 133 CRPC, and for criminal neglect in waste disposal, causing a public health hazard for the residents of Ajmer city. Mr. Kumar had fought the case for public good, making the city body accountable much beyond the laws that we know, the law of torts and damages and civil proceedings. He had taken up the cause in a very right, earnest manner. That was what Mr. Amrit Kumar was for me, a champion of public rights, a believer in justice for all. His life was devoted to making the law work for the people. Most of the time it is the other way around. This is my personal and professional tribute to him. He spoke out not only for the rights under the law, but he went far beyond. He stood up for what is right. May God bless his soul. And as we celebrate in his memory the Memorial Public Speaking series, this lovely and very important, very competitive series, starting today, and may God bless all of us. Thank you.